Recruiting is crazy. We see surprise commitments. We see surprise flips. We see it all. But one of the rare moves in recruiting is when a recruit flips back to a school he was previously committed to. And we're going to see in this video if Miami is about to pull off one of the rare double flip back maneuvers. I got Miami recruiting insider Azubi Charles on the show to talk about the buzz surrounding the recruitment of five-star defensive lineman Armando Blunt. Now, before we get into it, Miami fans, hit the subscribe button to the On3 Recruits channel. It's a crazy run up to signing day. We need you to be a part of it. Hit subscribe for me, please. All right, let's bring on Azubi Charles of CaneSport and Azubi, five-star Armando Blunt from Miami Central. He flipped his commitment from Miami to FSU about 6 weeks ago, but there's some buzz going on behind the scenes. What is happening between Blunt and Miami?
Yeah, it looks like Miami's efforts down this final stretch are kind of paying off, and it looks like Armando Blunt will be in Coral Gables for a visit this weekend. We cannot confirm that, but it's trending towards that direction. And it's kind of really, Miami's push behind the scenes to really say, hey, we're not going to push too hard, but we're just letting you know that option is still there. And it looks like Miami's kind of making their way back in the picture and are positioning themselves to be a real threat to flip Armando back to Miami. Like you mentioned, he committed to Miami at first, flipped to Florida State, and it looks like now there might be something there with that. So something would be monitoring really close with the early signing period on December 20th.
What do you think is kind of causing all this? Because when he did flip to Florida State, it seemed like, I don't want to say a rash decision because there were rumors heading into that weekend, but, it was kind of odd because he had just previously committed to Miami. So what do you think kind of got the ball rolling back in Miami's favor?
I think it really was Miami's persistence, throughout the process. Obviously, they wanted, Armando Blunt in the class, and they made that be known. But I feel like they weren't pushy and kind of pushing the issue as much. Obviously, they recently got those 2 in-home visits from head coach Mario Cristobal, Coach Jason Taylor, and then a second visit with Coach Edwin Pata, who's a defensive analysis on the Hurricane staff that has done a great job recruiting a lot of these South Florida guys. So I feel like those 2 recent in-home visits and Miami's kind of silent push behind the scenes have played a really big role in this. And now we see it kind of coming to fruition, and with him possibly taking that OV to Miami this weekend.
Yeah, and I think if he does make that OV, if he steps foot in Coral Gables, I mean, the writing's got to be on the wall for a flip. How important of a recruitment is this for the Miami Hurricanes?
I think this is huge in, a number of ways. First off, like you mentioned, Miami Central product, a guy that Miami has been on since he, started blossoming on the South Florida football scene from his 8th grade year. So, this is one of those recruitments that Miami's been there since day one. And if he ends up flipping back, that'll be huge. Another aspect of it, obviously, we all know about the Florida State-Miami rivalry, and we don't see too many double flips, in the recruiting cycle. And this would probably be the biggest one, of all, or at least the ones I've known of so far.
It's an in-state one. I mean, the flip, let's put it in perspective. The flip of Justin Scott was huge, getting a 5-star D lineman from Ohio State to go to Miami, but getting one from Florida State, and especially getting him back, that'll be big. We'll see what happens over the next couple of days, but it sure feels like it's trending in that direction. Azubi Charles of CaneSport, thank you for dropping by the Inside Scoop.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.